right, here we go. Mack 10.
What's happening?
Welcome to VladTV.
All good. What's up?
Hey, we have the legendary Inglewood's finest in the building, man. I've been wanting to do this for so long. We've been trying to do it for so long.
Yeah.
You know, but it finally happened. It finally happened. And me being from the West Coast, man, like these type of interviews are so important. You know, especially the interviews of artists that I listened to before I started doing hip hop.
Right.
When it was just pure and you just love the music and you don't know about all the other shit. So, man, thank you so much for coming in.
All good.
So let's start at the beginning. You grew up in Inglewood.
Yeah.
You're talking about Inglewood in the 80s.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Off the chain. Wouldn't trade it for nothing.
Yeah?
Wouldn't trade it for nothing.
I mean, you're talking about the 80s. That's when crack first started hitting LA.
Right.
And you were right there at the epicenter of it all.
Right.
What do you think was the craziest shit that you were seeing during that time?
I mean, when crack hit home, it was off the chain. I mean, our block used to look like, literally used to look like a freeway with cars just lined up. Just, you know, the 80s was a trip, man. Like I don't know if we'll ever see nothing like that again. You know, that was crazy.
Right. I mean, because I had, Big U, I did an interview with him recently, and he was talking about how he got out of prison right when crack had started to hit LA. And he was saying that the guns that were hitting the streets were completely different once that level of money started hitting it. You know, before it would just be revolvers and, you know, 22s, it turned into Uzis, AK-47s.
Yeah. Two things happened major. The influx of guns and a different kind of guns. And then
like the automatics.
The automatics, because we hadn't even seen automatics. We weren't even having no automatics then. And especially like, we was inflamed by the 9mm from the movie that came from New York, was King of New York. When Lawrence Fishburne had the 9mm and the King of New York, we was like, oh, that what the, you know what I mean? Because we come from the Clint Eastwood era, the pistols and the 4.5 and the magnums. So when crack came, all the different movies came that influenced the culture at the same time.
So all that was happening in Inglewood?
For sure.
Okay.
No doubt.
And Inglewood has always been a blood area?
Yeah, I mean, outside of Inglewood, yeah, for sure.
Okay. And where exactly in Inglewood did you grow up?
I grew up on
Queen Street?
Yeah.
Same place as Bosco?
Yeah.
Okay. So were you involved in the blood shit coming up?
I mean, you know, when I grew up on Queen, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you to a certain degree, you involve, you know, even if you ain't trying to be involved. I mean, you just, if you know, some people look at it like if you hang, you bang, you feel me? But, you know, it really, it was never put to me like that. Like, you know, like you gotta do this or gotta do that. You know what I'm saying? I grew up on Queen, literally. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, it is what it is.
So there was never like a jumping in or a...
I mean, it happens. Do that happen? Yeah. But I grew up on Queen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Was it generational with you, where like your family had been on that street for a while and so forth?
Yeah. Well, my family was on that street before I moved on that street. You know what I'm saying? Like my aunts and, you know, few of my relatives and stuff. You know, so, you know, it was just one of them things, man. I mean, but you don't know no different until you really get out of it. You know, a move away from over there. You know, and then it you know, when you look back, you could see, you'd be like, wow. You know what I'm saying? But like when you growing up, man, we wasn't thinking about none of that. We was just, that's what we grew up at.
Yeah.
And that's just, those are my friends.
Right. But when you're talking about crack, it comes with a lot of violence.
Yeah.
So what was the most crazy shit that you saw as you were growing up in that?
I mean, if you grew up in the hood, I mean, I mean, nothing ain't worse than like, you know, one of your homies getting knocked down or something.
Right.
I
So
mean,
you,
you know
so
what I'm
you were
saying?
losing your friends.
Oh, if anybody that grew up in the '80s in certain areas, if you know, that was inevitable. Kind of like when you look back at it now, you know, that's just what it is. I mean, it still goes on like that. You know.
Well, like, how old were you when you first lost one of your friends to violence?
Uh, Man, I don't know. I mean, I would hear about that my whole life growing up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you hear about that kind of stuff just period, just growing up. You know, I can't really recall exactly how old I was when I first heard of somebody getting killed. You know,
But one of your, like, one of your actual friends, like someone you're hanging with one day, and the next day, like, oh, he's not around anymore. There's a funeral, and their mother is losing it, and you know what I mean.
yeah.
And,
I mean, in high school, it happened. It happened a few times in high
Okay.
school. You know what I'm saying? Actually, lost a couple in junior high.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we actually lost a few in junior high. High school, it was a little bit more, you know, it was a little bit more, sad to say, but it happened a little bit more frequent. But we actually lost a couple homies in junior high school.
Okay. I mean, during that time, was your neighborhood at war with a different neighborhood?
See, back then, like most Inglewood neighborhoods, back then, you know, everybody kind of like got along. You was from Inglewood, you dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but just the natural, you know, way that things go. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you got a hood, it's natural for your hood to feud with another hood. You know, so I don't think it was nothing out of the ordinary. It was just, you know, regular old, you know, '80s. That's how I go in the '80s. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, we look back at that stuff now, man. I mean, wow.
Yeah. I mean, because it seemed normal at the time.
Yeah,
But you don't want your kids growing up in that type of thing.
definitely not. I don't want my kids. Man, my kids ain't nothing like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, any good parent that you know, been through some of the things that I've been through growing up, you know, would quite naturally take their kids in the other direction.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? Like I try to instill like positive things into my children and show them things that nobody could ever show me.
Yeah.
You know, my kids have lived a life that I probably could only dream about living as a kid. You know what I'm saying? And so
Right.
I'm blessed, homie. You know,
Yeah.
we all blessed, we're fortunate, you know. So, but like my kids don't know nothing. They not those kind of kids. They didn't grow up in the same circumstances that I did.
I mean, you yourself, at junior high, high school, and as a young adult, were you getting in trouble? Were you getting arrested?
Nah, I wasn't. I was as a little kid, like I was always a well-known kid, but I was always very athletic.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so, shit, at one time I probably thought, you know, I was probably gonna play in the NFL or something. You know what I'm saying? But you know, the ball don't bounce like that all the time. And then,
Right.
and then you gotta have these fresh J's, man, or you need some Gazelles, or you need some Fila, or some Elise or something. You know,
Right.
and hey, you know how that go. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the rest is history. But nah, you know, it wasn't like I was just getting arrested and you know, getting in, you know, just every time you turn around like I'm in some shit. It wasn't like that.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that.
Just
I mean,
making a little bit of money here and there.
yeah, I mean, you know, everybody, you know, did what they had to do, you know, at a certain point in their life. You know what I'm saying?
No, definitely.
Wouldn't trade it for nothing.
So at what point did you start thinking about rapping?
Probably like junior high.
Okay. And at that point, I mean, were there any big
Yeah, Run
rappers
DMC. Run
Well-
DMC.
Well, were there any rappers coming out of Inglewood before you?
No,
who
not that I
actually
know of.
claimed Inglewood?
No, not that I know of.
Right, because you were the first one that I remember saying Inglewood.
Yeah, I mean, not that I know of.
Right.
I mean, not nobody that really like had made it like that. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Of course, I had homies in the neighborhood that influenced me, you know, when it came to it because they was doing it. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't. It didn't turn out the same for everybody. You know what I'm saying? But it was definitely dudes in Inglewood that influenced me.
Right.
You know,
But they just never got record deals.
never got record deals.
And back then you needed a record deal. You couldn't just put shit out.
Yeah. My homeboy Chillin' K was the hardest in the school at one time. Like I thought he for sure he was going. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Well, at one point you met Eazy-E.
I met Eazy before I met Cube.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I met Eazy. One of the homegirls on the block knew Eazy. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I met him.
Okay. And I mean, you got to understand that when you're in our age range,
Mm-hmm.
Eazy-E was like Christ. Like, you know, when it comes to music. You know what I mean? Like that was the epitome of West Coast hip hop right there. Especially because he put with his own label on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened when you first met Eazy?
Well, it was just about music. You know what I'm saying? I was a pretty good writer, and like in the hood, my music was growing.
Okay.
Like I was in a group called First Amendment. You know what I'm saying? And like
First Amendment. Okay.
Yeah, and like my music was growing, like my popularity was growing, and so like I said, the homegirl knew Eric, you know, and she introduced us on over the phone one day, you know, and then I think he pulled up or something one day or something, you know what I'm saying, and you know that's how I met him. But it was just about music. It wasn't about I'm from Inglewood, he from Compton. It wasn't nothing. It was just about music.
Okay. And was he trying to sign you at all, or?
Nah. I was a fan of hip hop, and you know, I actually wrote a couple of records for him, and you know, stuff like that, you know. But like nothing. It was just a normal, you know, experience. He was a cool dude, though. I could tell he was a real one.
Okay. And you say you were writing for him?
Yeah. I did a couple of records back in the day. I don't even know if they came out or whatever. But that's when I first went around Eazy. It was just about writing records. Really, it wasn't about nothing else.
Okay. And was he actually performing the records? Like, was he actually laying down the verses that you were doing? Did you actually get to see that?
I didn't see that. He would just buy records from me.
Really?
Yeah.
How much was he paying you?
Oh man, probably a little bit of nothing. I can't even remember. He'd go in his sock. You know what I'm saying?
No contract, nothing.
No. Anybody know him, know he go right in his sock, and you know what I'm saying? That's where it was at.
Goes in his sock, pulls out a couple bills, like, all right, thanks for the verse.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. And then you hooked up with DJ Bobcat.
Yeah, Pooh and Bobcat, really.
Right.
Yeah.
And Pooh was, you know, the guy behind Ice Cube, like after Dr. Dre. Producer-wise?
Sorta, yeah.
I would say that.
Yeah.
I would say
Yeah, he did some big records for him.
Yeah, well, and I guess after Dre and after the Bomb Squad, then that's when Cube ended up getting with Pooh later on. And Pooh actually has a real interesting history. He did like going back to Cali for LL Cool J, and he was a real LA heavyweight. Mm-hmm. So you hooked up with these two guys. Yeah. Okay, how did that happen?
Well, Pooh first, and then I met Bobcat through Pooh.
Okay.
But I met Pooh through Shorty from the Lynch Mob. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the homeboy. He going through something right now, you know, health wise. So shout out to Show Dog, man. You know, hope he get better. You dig what I'm saying? But I met Pooh through Shorty just from being around. You know, Show Dog was my homeboy. And so I would just go to the studio with him and stuff like that from time to time. And then Pooh and them was there, you know what I'm saying? And it just, you know, it was kind of like natural because like, you know, we was into the same thing and you know, you hanging out at the studio all day, you know, if you got rhymes, especially back then, somebody gonna notice. You know, it's beats up, Pooh and Bobcat, everybody is always a beat on the board. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so you started hanging out in the studio and just started laying down verses.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, for real, yeah, just like that.
Okay, and is this stuff coming out at all or no?
None of that came out.
None of that came out.
None of that came out.
Okay.
Nah.
So when did Ice Cube start coming around?
Well, Cube was already around, but yeah, he was just around. You dig what I'm saying? And so I don't know, man, how it happened, but you know, I met Cube through Shorty and Pooh and them. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I might have met Cube around the same time as I met Pooh, because Shorty was in the Lynch Mob. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, I went on tour with the Lynch Mob when Gorillas in the Mist was out.
Yeah, I remember that album.
You know what I'm saying? When JD was in the group. So I went on tour with him. And so, you know, that's how I really like got familiar with Cube, you know. And then when we got back off tour, you know, I was familiar with him, you know, a little bit by then, you know. And then just one day he you know, he had a beat up on the board, and he asked me, you know, if I had some rhymes. I said, yeah, you know. And the rest is history. I didn't have no demo, no nothing. I kicked a couple of raps, and that was it.
Right, and people have to understand that at that time, Cube was humongous.
He was the dude.
I mean, what would you compare him to? Would you say like a Drake?
Yeah, he was big.
In that caliber.
And yeah, he was, put it like he was at the top of the feed chain. Just put it like that.
Exactly. So you're sitting here with essentially one of the biggest rappers in the world.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, spitting on a beat that he just puts on.
Yeah, but I'm fresh out the hood though. Like my confidence is crazy. I ain't even give a fuck who he was. Like I'm fresh. I felt like I could do anything, and like whatever beat or whoever, like I knew that what I was saying was authentic. Like, and you could just tell I was really from the turf, like by the way I could put it, you know.
Well, your first appearance was on What Can I Do?
Nah. Cutthroats on the Lynch Mob album.
Oh, the Lynch Mob album. Okay.
Yeah.
But the first song with Ice Cube was What Can I Do?
Yeah. That was actually gonna be my beat at first. Laylaw did the beat, I think, and
badass beat.
Yeah, that was a beat I was working on, and somehow he ended up somehow he ended up getting it to Cube, but you know, it's cool. I'm glad it went like that. You know what I'm saying? That song put me on.
Right, you were the one that was robbing the McDonald's.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
How did it go?
I forgot.
Okay. Welcome to McDonald's. Can I please help you?
Yeah. You could help me, punk. Give me all of the money, or I'm dumping. Yeah.
As a matter of fact.
Yeah. Can I roll with you? Yeah.
No, he said, well, give me a cheeseburger and something. He used to actually start ordering the food right there.
Ordering food. Yeah.
And then you're in the getaway car with Ice Cube.
Yeah.
And then both of you guys go to prison. That's how the song ends.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So you were on that, but that wasn't really a verse. That was just kind of
that was just
cameo.
Like, and then I came with like the Friday soundtrack record, Take a Hit.
Yeah.
And that's when it was a whole record of me. But that was still like a different kind of style record than what Mack 10 was really gonna be.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? But that's the order it was in. Yeah.
So do you sign to Priority Records after that?
Yeah, I was signed to Priority Records, I think, by the time I did What Can I Do? I was already signed.
Okay, so you were already officially...
I was already signed. Yeah, I like I said, I didn't have no demo or nothing. He really just got me a deal. You know what I'm saying? Like I was already signed when What Can I Do came out. We was already working on my album, I think.
I mean, you're a brand new artist with no, sales history or anything else like that. A lot of times these deals are not great.
Yeah.
How was that first deal?
Great.
It was great.
Great.
So Cube took care of you.
Priority took care of me.
Priority took care of you.
Cube took care of me in the sense that he didn't get nothing outrageous or nothing like that. I think he had like a percentage of what my first deal was. You know what I'm saying? But like nobody never took none of my publishing, no nothing. I don't have horror stories.
So because a lot of times artists will sign you to their production company and then sign that deal with the major.
Well, it was like that with him.
It was.
Yeah.
But it wasn't
for one album, I think. I think just one album.
Okay, so it wasn't one of these.
Nah, it wasn't one of them things. Like he was really my homeboy. It was like You know,
That's
he
what's
put
up.
me on. My record did really well. I think I went gold in like 6 weeks or something on my first record. You know
Which
what I'm
was
saying?
the
the
okay,
For
so
Life record.
right, which was the self-titled
Yeah.
Mack 10 record. Was there a
Yeah.
reason why I didn't have a title?
It was all about me. I was the title.
So you drop, the Mack 10 album
Yeah.
in 1995,
Yeah.
and Faux Life comes out.
Yeah.
And you know how certain records, they kind of have to grow on you, and after hearing it 100 times, you start to like it. Faux Life was not one of those records.
Nah, it wasn't one of them.
Faux Life, you
Faux Life
heard
wasn't one of
for the
them.
first time, you said, "Oh, that's a hit."
Yeah, Faux Life wasn't like that.
The beat was bananas.
Yeah.
When you heard that beat, did you instantly know, like, okay,
Yeah. I knew that with no words on it, it was knocking already. It was hood. You know what I'm saying?
who did that beat?
Cube.
Cube did the beat.
Yeah.
Hell of a beat.
Yeah.
And just the chorus is like
Yeah. It was crazy.
ridiculous.
Crazy.
Were you doing all your own writing, or were there other writers involved in any of your stuff?
Nah, back then we just we did it all. Like back then it was real artists, man. Not saying that, anybody that don't write something ain't you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
but it was always like friendly competition around us. It was like who could come up with the tightest verse. You dig what
Right.
I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I know that Ice Cube had other people occasionally write for him as well.
I mean, I don't know.
Look, I mean, King T, I did an interview with him, and he was telling me about one artist that he was working with that was doing some stuff for Ice Cube. Not to say that Ice Cube was having,
Well, yeah, I don't know, man.
Okay.
You dig 'em?
but you wrote all your own stuff.
Yeah.
I always thought Ice Cube wrote all his own stuff, but not all his own stuff.
I don't know. I beg to differ, but
Okay. Well, I think Dell actually wrote some stuff for Ice Cube at one point.
yeah, wrote
Gangsters
fairy
Nursery,
tales,
Gangster Fairy
something,
Tale.
little boys and girls, yeah.
That was Dell.
Yeah.
So Faux Life was the hit, was the single
Yeah.
off the shit. But then it had a few other joints. It had On Them Things,
Yeah.
which you actually brought the Mary Jane Girls.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys sampled the Mary Jane Girls.
Yeah. And brought
had
them in.
them-
Brought
brought
them
them
in to
in.
sing it. Yeah.
How crazy is that?
Yeah.
Because, we all grew up on Rick James. So it's like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It was already a hit.
yeah.
I just had to put a hood twist on it, and talk about that low ride shit. You know what I'm saying? And that made it Mack 10.
Well, also on that album was Westside Slaughterhouse,
Yeah, that was a real hip hop record.
which, it was the setup for Westside Connection because it had you, Ice Cube,
And yeah,
and Dub C. Right. And didn't it say like featuring Westside Connection?
I don't remember what it said.
It may have. But was the concept of Westside Connection together at that point?
Well, the song was called Westside Slaughterhouse.
Right.
I think the concept was together, but it wasn't really official. Like it was just like we should just do an album together. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it really went. You feel me? But yeah, I think after Westside Slaughterhouse, I'm not sure which one came first, Westside Slaughterhouse or West Up. I think maybe after Westside Slaughterhouse, West Up on Dub C album.
Right.
And then that was like 2 bangers back to back, you know what I'm saying? And now it works. The chemistry is good, it works, so, the rest is history. We got in there and did what we had to do.
Right, because Ice Cube had been messing with WC for like a while.
Yeah,
He was showing up, I think, on the Mad Circle albums, and they had been fucking with each other. So once you came in, now you have 3 dudes that are popping,
yeah,
and the group ends up forming later on. But on the song Westside Slaughterhouse, Ice Cube disses Common.
mm-hmm.
Says, stupid ass bitch, ain't got no common sense, something like that.
yeah.
When you heard that record, were you like, oh, okay, we about to go?
Well, I was just with the shit though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it didn't really matter. You know what I'm saying? Who he did stuff. I felt like he could say whatever he wanted to say about whoever he wanted to say it about. And whatever it was what it was.
Right.
That's really, really how we felt about it. You dig what I'm saying? So man, you have no idea, man, that chemistry was crazy. So we felt like it didn't matter who nobody was.
Well, Ice Cube had been beefing with people.
Yeah.
I mean, No Vaseline is one of the all-time great diss records.
No doubt.
To this day.
No doubt.
I would
doubt.
definitely put it in the top 3.
No doubt.
up there with like Hit 'Em Up and so
no
forth.
doubt.
So this comes out, and then Common responds
Yeah,
with The Bitch in You.
yeah.
Did you get named in that record?
I don't know. I probably didn't even listen to that shit.
never listened to
wasn't
it.
no threat to us.
Okay.
It was funny. It wasn't no threat to us.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Common was more of an underground kind of rapper back then
Yeah.
compared to what you guys were doing.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys were going gold and platinum. I don't think Common was doing
Yeah,
that
yeah.
remotely back then. He was more of a underground kind of artist that people fucked with.
Yeah.
But I felt like that song kind of put him to the forefront.
I don't know. Shit, shit back. I don't. I mean, nah. I mean, I really don't know, man. I didn't never listen to his record, to be
Okay.
honest.
You want to hear it right now?
No,
Not really.
not really. Shit, which record sold the most, ours or his?
I think yours.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah.
You know what? This is something that you said that ever since I heard it, it's kind of been running through my head. When you were on the Beef DVD,
Mm,
and you were talking about the whole thing,
Yeah.
the diss records with Common.
yeah,
You said something to the effect of like, it doesn't matter who's right or wrong. If that's your homie, you ride with him. Fuck
No,
it,
Oh yeah,
and we'll figure it out later on.
yeah. That's how I go.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I go. That's why I told you it didn't matter who Cube talked about or fuck it or whatever he said. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. What's happening? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like how it was. When if you with him, if you with somebody, you with them. At least that's how I was raised.
Mhm.
And we figure out if we was right or wrong afterwards.
Right. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
When I'm fucking with someone,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if you're wrong at the moment.
We talk about that shit later. Be like, man, why the fuck you know what I'm saying? We talk about that later.
When we're all sitting in the jail cell
Yeah,
together,
yeah,
like,
but right at the time, whatever goes down, goes down.
that's how I feel.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. If we're
Yeah.
together, fuck it, we'll be wrong together.
Right.
He ended up actually performing the song in L.A.
Cool.
Common.
Oh, I didn't know nothing
Bitch
about
in
it.
You, yeah.
Where was he at? What year was it?
I think it was, the same year that he put it out.
Oh, we didn't know nothing about it.
No?
No. The
Well-
Who Bangers didn't.
Apparently at one point it got worked out. Didn't Farrakhan step in and something like that?
Yeah, but but that wasn't quite kind of like with Common. I think the minister came in, he was just speaking on just problems in general, with hip hop. He didn't come in just to squash it with Common. You know what I'm saying? It was it's like we all met at his house after Big had got killed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the minister, he was always just for what's right. Just positive. Like you ain't.
Just recently, a few months ago, Common did an interview with Fat Joe.
Mm-hmm.
He talked about an incident in L.A.
Oh man, I didn't know you knew about that. I was waiting to see what you gonna bring up. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So Common was in L.A.
Yeah,
filming a commercial,
yeah.
and he was, I guess, kind of solo at the time.
Well, he wasn't solo.
He wasn't solo?
No.
Well, Fat Joe was there.
Crack
he-
was there.
Yeah.
He was with me.
Fat Joe was with you.
Yeah.
Because that's your homie as well.
Yeah.
And you and some other people, I guess, run into Common.
Yeah.
What happened?
What did they tell you happened?
Well, it's not a day. It's actually a video of it,
Of what?
of Fat Joe and Common talking about it.
Oh, okay. So what did the video say happened?
Basically, Fat Joe said that he saved Common's life in that interview. He said that it was about to go down and he had to step in the middle of it.
I mean, I guess, you know what I'm saying? If that's what Crack said. That's what he said.
That's what he said.
We had talked, but as far as Common is concerned, technically that's how it went.
The way he described it.
Somewhat.
So basically, he was there in L.A. and you guys were there. And was there still kind of a problem with his diss song and so forth? Like it never really got worked out before that time?
Well, the issue, just like Common said, the issue was with his homeboy. It wasn't even about the diss record.
Aha.
The issue came with his homeboy stepped out And you know, I don't know, maybe he was feeling some kind of way about the diss record.
Huh.
You know what I'm saying? So it was Common's homeboy that kicked it off.
Aha. With some of your people.
Yeah, you know, he kicked it off. You
Kicked
know
it
what I'm
off.
saying? And
Got
you know,
Things started to escalate.
they did escalate.
Okay.
You know, but
And Fat Joe managed to diffuse it,
with Common,
but not with you guys.
I mean, well, Crack is my brother. Like you know what I'm saying. But when I say with Common, you know, things didn't go that smooth with his partner. They went smooth with him.
So you're saying something happened with Common's friend?
No, I ain't. I mean, I'm just saying that, like, you know, the problem was really with us and one of his buddies or somebody he was with. He said he didn't really know him like that or whatever. That's what he just said or whatever, but he was there with him.
Right.
And so maybe he felt some kind of way about the diss record. You dig what I'm saying? But I mean, Common is all right. Yeah, ain't nobody got no issues, no problems, and nothing. Like, everybody grown, man. We done seen each other a million times since then.
Yeah, I mean, you even
know
said that
yeah.
you even said that you have respect that Common actually stepped up and did, you know, had the guts enough to do a diss record against someone like Ice Cube. You know?
Yeah. I respect it. I mean, but that was hip hop at the time too. You know what I'm saying? That's hip hop has always been competitive like that.
So I'm trying to figure out the timeline here. So right after your album, the Westside Connection album comes out next, in terms of projects that you're on. Right? That was before your
after my first album.
Right after your first album,
Yeah.
you guys come out with Bow Down.
Yeah.
Which blows up huge once again.
Mm-hmm.
And the single is Bow Down.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at this point, you're kind of getting this whole East Coast, West Coast thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys are like one of the biggest kind of West Coast, you know, groups that are actually pushing this line.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you look at that whole thing, like, for example, I interviewed Tretch.
Mm-hmm.
And he always felt there really was not an East Coast, West Coast beef until that Vibe article, you know, that Vibe cover came out with Puffy and Biggie, and it says East Coast versus West Coast. He felt that was like the reason why people were even going with that.
Gangsters don't read articles. Niggas on the East Coast like, yo, it's on. Wait till them West Coast niggas come out here. West Coast like, oh, it's on. Wait till them East Coast niggas come out here. So it baited up a whole shit that fucking went down that had just so many cycles of all Biggie followers and riders, all Pac riders, motherfuckers that didn't even know neither one of them, gangster ass motherfuckers. It could have really turned into a motherfucking East Coast, West Coast war.
Oh, well, that wasn't our reason.
What was your reason?
Our reason was like, we just felt they was biased. Like we felt that we didn't get the props that we deserve. Like, how could we have like a #1 record in the country and we don't get no spins in New York or nowhere on the East Coast? How does that happen? Because you could hear their music out here at the time. But now, New York more than made up for it on the next Westside Connect record. I mean, Gangsta Nation probably was #1 on Hot 97. You know what I'm saying? So, and Flex was DJ'd at my wedding and everything. You dig what I'm saying? So, like, ain't no probably been all love. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I got some real homies from New York, like my real guys. You know, it's from New York. Joe is one of them. You know what I'm saying? Red Cafe is my little homie. You know, like but at the time, it didn't have nothing to do with no Vibe article with us. No.
I mean, but to be fair, even though you guys may not have gotten spins in New York, West Coast albums were completely outselling East Coast albums.
Yeah,
Just
but-
sales-wise. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but imagine what they would have been if we was getting airplay in on the East.
I mean, because Nas's Illmatic didn't even go gold initially. You know, eventually it did, but like that was like the biggest dude from the coast, and he comes out and sells 200,000 copies. You guys are going platinum, multi-platinum each time. You know, and that was the kind of the argument going on. I remember that whole era.
Yeah.
Like, we're outselling y'all.
Yeah.
So we're real hip hop, and you know, and it was a weird kind of back and forth. And then, of course, Tupac and Biggie started going at it.
Mm.
Were you familiar with any of these guys yourself?
Far as who?
Well, let's just start with the West Coast. Tupac,
Yeah.
you guys were close?
I knew Pac.
You knew him.
Yeah.
Okay. Suge?
Yeah.
Okay. Dog Pound, which you ended
Yeah.
up recording with
Yeah.
later on?
Yeah. For
Okay.
sure.
So you were cool with all these guys?
Yeah.
What about on the other side, Biggie and all them?
Yeah. Biggie was cool. Big was cool. Puff was cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for you, the Pac Biggie thing, you guys had nothing
Nah,
to do with it.
that was their business, man.
Yeah.
That ain't had nothing to do with the Westside Connection at all. Like
Right.
that was
Yeah, because you guys
that
didn't
was-
jump into that at all.
that was their business.
Right.
You know, that didn't have nothing to do with us.
Okay. But you guys, you know, had Bow Down and the whole West Side thing, you know, had a giant West Side
Yeah.
finger at
Yeah.
all your shows,
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know, big inflatable joint.
Yeah,
And you guys were really running with it and it was working.
for sure.
And then Tupac died.
Mm,
And then Biggie died.
mm.
Once that started happening, how did the whole, you know, West Coast, East Coast thing kind of happen in terms of, you know, result in, you know, based on what you saw?
What you mean?
Well, because it was all, everyone was pushing it, you know? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like, J. Rue the Damager, you know, did an album called, you know, The Sun Rises in the East. And, you know, everyone was really coming into this.
We
but-
were so far into us, we didn't even know nothing about none of that.
Okay.
Because we really felt like it wasn't a bandwagon thing with us or something that we did it because we felt sincere about what we were saying, and we felt like what we said, our reason for doing it was valid.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? So that's why we went so hard. It wasn't about nobody else's beef that we was getting in or nothing like. It wasn't about none of that. We felt like we didn't get the respect that we deserved for the numbers we was putting up on the East Coast. We was putting up real numbers and wasn't getting no spins or no love, period. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Why we didn't have 5 mics? That first Connect album wasn't a classic.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? I think it was a classic,
Right. Back then when the Source 5 mics meant something.
for sure. We got 4.5, but not 5.
Can't be mad at 4.5.
Yeah, I'm mad at it. It was a classic. I need my other half a mic.
Okay.
But they cool though, man. The Sources, they're my guys, man. They cool.
Okay. So then you come out with your second album based on a true story.
Yeah,
And the first album I think went platinum.
yeah,
Second album went platinum again.
yeah.
Westside Connection went platinum.
Westside Connection went platinum.
So you got 3 platinums in a row.
Yeah.
How did that feel to come out of Inglewood
I mean,
and then go platinum 3 times in a row?
wonderful. You know what I'm saying? It was, you know, shit. I mean, when you know, like the Mack 10 album went gold initially. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Then over time, like all of them, you know, sold like that. But I mean, it was like a dream come true, really. I mean, any level of success from the hood is a you know, mainstream success especially, you know, was unbelievable.
And you kept dropping albums.
Yeah,
You know, The Recipe was the third album, then Paper Out.
yeah,
And then the second Westside Connection album, Terrorist Threats, that was 2003.
Mhm.
So that happened kind of down the line.
yeah.
But why the big gap between those 2 albums?
Because the Westside Connection was really only supposed to be one album.
Hmm.
When we did it, we was like, let's just do an album together.
Okay.
You know, but it became like a super group. You know, it's like 2 million records sold.
Yeah.
You know, on what we was just fucking around. Fucking around and sold 2 million records.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you know, everybody was doing pretty good for themselves. Cube was off doing movies and shit. I was doing solo records in between. Dub was doing records, you know, and then it just came time to just do another record, you know, and it was like, should we do it or we shouldn't, you know?
Well, that second album came out on Who Bangin' Records.
Yeah.
So you had your own record label.
Yeah.
And they put out that album through
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Which is dope.
Yeah. Sound about right.
Okay.
That's what happened.
Well, then at one point, a riff started with Westside Connection.
Yeah.
You and Ice Cube.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of hazy stories around this, but it seems to focus around Ice Cube's brother-in-law.
Mm.
Can you talk about that?
I mean, what you want to know?
Well, what happened?
It was just, I mean, you know, it was just an unfortunate situation, you know, as far as, you know, what came out of all that, you know what I'm saying? But the stories you heard, probably, most of them probably was, what did you hear?
The story I heard was that Ice Cube's brother-in-law got beat up.
What else did you hear? Did you hear that that before all this happened, that like it ain't like that just happened?
Well, never just happens.
Yeah.
But there was friction.
Yeah, it was conflict. Yeah, you know. But I went to Cube about 4 or 5 times before the conflict jumped off.
Okay.
And told him to correct the situation. So that's the part that everybody leave out, I think.
Right.
I didn't. Nobody didn't intend on starting nothing or nothing even like escalating to that level. You know what I'm saying? Because if you go to somebody 5 times before it escalate, then you was trying to be diplomatic about the situation.
Right. I mean, the problem is that you're talking about Ice Cube's wife's brother.
I understand.
So now Ice Cube gets put in a weird situation where...
Well, it depends on how weird you want to be. Because if it was my wife's brother, I would have told him he can't fuck my money up.
Right.
And he can't be out of line with nobody I'm getting down with. And if you got that big of a problem with him, stay at home. You know what I'm saying? So it depends on how you handle it.
Yeah.
My wife brother wouldn't have stopped shit for me.
Right.
With them. But so it just depends on how you handle things. And so I personally never, me and Cube didn't have no fight or no nothing like that. We had an argument, but okay. I thought that was it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
How was Dub C during this whole situation?
He wasn't in it.
He wasn't involved at all.
No,
Okay.
he wasn't involved.
So he wasn't trying to broker, you know, this thing from escalating anymore, or considering how close he was to both of you?
I think it came to so much of a head that, you know, at one time that, you know, it was, you know, I mean, I don't know, you know, what was said when I wasn't around or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But as far as I knew, Dub he didn't have nothing to do with none of that, you know what I'm saying? This was all me and Cube's misunderstanding.
Well, in the Bow Down video, the video starts and there's a dude kissing Ice Cube's ring at the beginning of the video, right?
Something, yeah, probably.
And at one point, I guess they asked Ice Cube in an interview if he would get back and work with you again and put Westside Connection back together, and he said, "I'll do it if he kisses my ring."
And what was my response?
I think you laughed about it.
I laughed about it and said, I see he's taking his comedy to the next level now. Yeah.
Right. Oh, such a weird comment, man.
What? For him to say that?
For him to say that.
I thought it was weird as a motherfucker and funny.
And you guys were not talking at all up to that point. Was it? How long had passed? Years at that point?
I don't know, man. I ain't talked to Cube, man, in over 10, 15 years probably. I don't know. Years had passed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't hear him say that or whatever, but that's what somebody told me he said. That's what the interview guy told me he said or whatever.
Okay.
So I don't, you know. I thought it was funny because, you know.
Well, I mean, you guys made so much magic together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like that first album, Ice Cube's hands were so much in that, in the finger, his fingerprints were all over that thing, from making the beats to, you know what I'm saying? You could just tell how involved he was in that project, how well you guys sound together.
Yeah.
And then Westside Connection, once again,
Yeah.
proved that again. And then all the other shit. And you showed up on, was it Ghetto Vet?
Yeah.
That was a hell of a fucking song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you guys really made some monumental shit. So there was no, you would think that someone you have that much success with, at one point you say, all right, well, some bullshit happened, but, it wasn't directly with me and that person.
Yeah.
Nobody put hands on Ice Cube.
Mm-hmm.
And he even squashed it with people that put hands on him previously. So it's like, why never work it out with you?
Have no idea. That's something that you probably got to ask him. I have no idea. You know what I'm saying? I have no idea, to be honest. I mean, it wasn't that big to me,
Right.
for it to be all like that. But I don't know. Maybe because his wife was there or something. I really don't know what the reason is. But we didn't do no public, records dissing each other like a couple of, people have with him. You know what I'm saying? And he's straight with them. So I couldn't answer that question, bro.
Right, because at one point, Cypress Hill was beefing with him.
Yeah.
Over the Friday record.
Yeah, I got in that too.
You got in that, yeah.
Yeah.
And there was some back and forth.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
From your point of view, because I interviewed, me and Be Real are cool.
Yeah.
And you and Be Real are cool. You did the
Real
smoke
cool.
box.
Real cool would be.
Yeah.
For sure.
Be Real felt that Ice Cube took the chorus for Throw Your Set in the Air.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ice Cube denied it, and there was some back and forth, and Ice Cube ultimately never really admitted to to taking the record, but they just kind of said, fuck it. From your point of view, did Be Real have a point? Do you felt like his chorus was taken?
Well, back then, I'm being perfectly honest with you.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was over, because I didn't care.
You were just jumping in.
He got a problem? Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know what it was over. I had no idea that it was. I didn't even know what it was over. It was just, all right. You know what I'm saying? It was just, okay. You got a problem with them? Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? I didn't care what it was over.
Right.
And didn't know or care what it was over. So it didn't matter.
Well, in the Bow Down video, the video starts and there's a dude kissing Ice Cube's ring. The beginning of the video, right?
Something, yeah, probably.
And at one point, I guess they asked Ice Cube in an interview if he would get back and work with you again and put Westside Connection back together. And he said, I'll do it if he kisses my ring.
And what was my response?
I think you laughed about it.
I laughed about it and said, I see taking his comedy to the next level now. Yeah.
Right. Such a weird comment, man.
What? For him to say that?
For him to say that.
I thought it was weird as a motherfucker and funny.
And you guys were not talking at all up to that point. Was it? How long had passed? Years at that point?
I don't know, man. I ain't talked to Cube, man, in over 10, 15 years probably. I don't know. Years had passed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't hear him say that or whatever, but that's what somebody told me he said. That's what the interview guy told me he said or whatever.
Okay.
So I don't, I thought it was funny because,
Well, I mean, you guys made so much magic together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like that first album, Ice Cube's hands were so much in that, in the finger, his fingerprints were all over that thing, from making the beats to, you know what I'm saying? You could just tell how involved he was in that project, how well you guys sound together.
Yeah.
And then Westside Connection, once again, proved that again. And then all the other shit. And you showed up on, was it Ghetto Vet?
Yeah.
That was a hell of a fucking song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you guys really made some monumental shit. So there was no. You would think that someone you have that much success with, at one point, you say, "All right, well, some bullshit happened, but you know, it wasn't directly with me and that person."
Yeah.
Nobody put hands on Ice Cube,
Mhm.
and he even squashed it with people that had put hands on him previously. So it's
Yeah.
like, why never work it out with you?
Have no idea. That's something that you probably got to ask him. I have no idea. You know what I'm saying? I have no idea, to be honest. I mean, it wasn't that big to me
Right.
for it to be all like that. But I don't know. Maybe because his wife was there or something. I really don't know what the reason is, you know. But we didn't do no public, you know, records dissing each other like a couple of, you know, people have with him. You know what I'm saying? And he straight with them. So I couldn't answer that question, bro.
Right, because at one point, Cypress Hill was beefing with him.
Yeah.
Over the Friday record.
Yeah, I got in that too.
You got in that, yeah.
Yeah.
And there was some back and forth.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
From your point of view, because I interviewed, you know, me and Be Real are cool.
Yeah.
And you and Be Real are cool. You did the
Real
smoke
cool.
box.
Real cool would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, Be Real felt that Ice Cube took the chorus for Throw Your Set in the Air.
We're like, nah, we didn't give him that song. What are you talking about? And they're like, well, we just heard it on the radio. And we're like, how could you just hear it on the radio? We haven't even turned this fucking record, you know, it's not out yet for anybody to hear. And he was like, nah, man, he recorded the song. And, you know, we were confused. So when we got home, I finally heard the song, and it was not the same subject matter. You know, he didn't write about what we wrote about. He wrote about something completely different, but what the chorus was a variation of what our chorus was. Our shit was throw your set in the air, wave it around like you just don't care. Where his chorus was, oh yeah, throw your neighborhood in the air like you don't care. And we already knew that was fucking our chorus when we heard that shit. So a couple things happened, and then eventually, you know, it all just snowballed into the beef, you know what I mean?
And then Ice Cube denied it, and there was some back and forth, and Ice Cube ultimately never really admitted to to taking the record, but they just kind of said, you know, fuck it. From your point of view, did Be Real have a point? Do you felt like his chorus was taken?
Well, back then, I'm being perfectly honest with you.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was over, because I didn't care.
You were just jumping in.
Oh, he got a problem? Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know what it was over. I had no idea that it was, I didn't even know what it was over. It was just, all right, you know what I'm saying? It was just, okay, you got a problem with them? Oh, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? I didn't care what it was over.
Right.
And didn't know or care what it was over, so it didn't matter.
Okay. So Cypress Hill disses you guys. Were you included in that diss record initially?
I didn't even listen to that one either.
Okay. But you guys responded, what, King of the Hill?
Yeah, yeah.
You were on that.
Yeah, I was on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You took some shots at Cypress.
The whole crew.
The whole crew.
Yeah.
And, you know, that actually escalated into actual violence. Because remember, Ice Cube got caught, but was a solo at one point?
Yeah.
And they took his chain?
Yeah.
Wasn't it a Westside Connection chain?
Yeah.
And they held it up. I think Be Real held it up at a concert. So it was actually churning into potentially a bad situation. Was anything else happening outside of that chain incident?
Yeah. My homies and B homies, like we ran into each other in I think Rosarito or some Mexico, you know what I'm saying? And you know, it was you know, it could have got serious, you know what I'm saying? But I forgot what happened in between, but B is all right, man. You know what I'm saying? B is the homie.
So you helped squash that whole thing?
Yeah. Yeah, but it had to get to that first though. You know, it got to that and then it was, I really don't know what happened in between, like how it got to the point where me and B talked, you know what I'm saying? But Be Real is all right.
B's a good dude, man.
Good dude.
B's just a dude with a good head on his shoulders,
Yeah.
who's not just doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
You know,
Definitely.
I've had conversations with Be Real about various other issues that, you know, and he's always been the level-headed one and so forth.
Yeah.
He's a real good dude.
Mm-hmm.
I interviewed Alonzo from the World Class Wrecking Crew, and he said that Ice Cube is a great actor, but he's never really been an actual gangster that he portrayed in a lot of his music.
Now, what about the Ice Cube?
Ice Cube was a great kid, just a nice kid.
So Ice Cube wasn't gangbanging at all.
No.
Was it a little weird hearing about all this gangbanging stuff from someone that doesn't gangbang at all?
Fucked me up.
Yeah.
The fuck who? I'm like, you got to be bullshit.
Like songs like Gangster. Like I thought Ice Cube was the most gangster motherfucker on the planet.
You know what?
I thought Ice Cube come in here and kill everybody. You know what I mean?
He's a great actor.
That's what it is.
He's a great actor. You know, and and I think probably one of my only problems I had with the whole NWA thing is that because hip hop is based on keeping it real, keeping it 100, most people don't vet the artist that they are idolizing. And they assume because you say it, you are it.
Do you agree or disagree? And Alonzo had him in the very beginning.
Yeah.
Like Ice Cube was recording his first demos with Alonzo. So this is someone that actually was there in the early steps.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could say that about 90% of dudes that rap.
Right. You wouldn't say that about Mack 10 though. You wouldn't say it about WC.
But you would say that about a lot of guys, man, that rap. You know what I'm saying? Because it is entertainment, and it ain't nothing wrong with entertaining if that's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's profitable for you. You know what I'm saying? If you know that's what it is, it's what it is. But
It is what it is.
Yeah.
There was like a rumor at one point that Game was supposed to replace you in Westside Connection. Have you ever heard that?
I heard it before.
That'd be interesting, to hear, because Game is dope.
Yeah, especially since I own the rights.
You own the rights to Westside Connection.
It was real interesting.
So it's probably never gonna happen.
Yeah. I told him I'll sign off.
Right, because it was through your record label.
Yeah, I'll sign off if the check big enough.
Yeah. At one point, you actually signed to Cash Money.
Yeah.
And I heard they gave you just a monster deal.
They gave me a crazy deal.
Crazy deal. The best deal you ever got?
Yeah. Yeah.
How's that whole experience?
Where? With Cash Money?
Yeah.
Still my people.
Yeah.
Still my homeboy. Like, I don't have no horror stories, bro. Like, not no record company shit. Like, I don't, Stunner is solid. Slim is solid. Wayne is super solid. Everybody I ever met through them was always treated me like family and been just super solid. All of their homies, everybody, like, when I got to New Orleans, bro, it was all open arms. And it's still like that. When we see each other, it's like family.
Well, yeah, the Cash Money catalog is
bananas
on another level.
It's bananas.
You from back then to now, you got Drake and Nicki Minaj, and
yeah,
you had Tiger, and you had, the roster is just fucking incredible. But I guess you're the one that told Baby to bet the house on Wayne.
Yeah.
So you saw it right away.
He was special, something that I had never seen before. Wayne is the most influential rapper probably ever. To be perfectly honest, it's a whole lot of
influential rapper ever.
Probably one of them.
There is an argument for that.
One of them for sure.
If you look at how most of the new rappers,
man, come on, man, it's a whole lot of Lil Wayne
sound.
Man, come on, keep it all the way real. It's a whole lot of Wayne.
They're really, a lot of them are doing their best Wayne impression.
No doubt about it.
From the look to the sound
To everything.
to everything.
But he was special though. He's special, bro. He is special. You're real talent. And like you can't even put a age limit on it. It's kind of like one of them people that like he just gonna be special long as he doing it.
Yeah. What was it like coming from LA and living in a blood neighborhood to going to New Orleans and they're actually banging blood over there also? I mean, because Wayne is doing the whole red rag thing. That was the first time I actually ever saw non-LA dudes with rags.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it was normal for us. You know what I'm saying? If you come from Cali, wherever you go, where for some gangster shit, I mean, you was pretty normal. I fit right in. You know, when I went with them guys, I told you, like, when I got to New Orleans, bro, it was like family. Honestly, like all of them dudes, a lot of hospitality, good dudes. Like I can't say nothing but good things about Cash Money.
I mean, do you think that the blood thing kind of created that bond since you came from that?
I think just the kind of niggas we was, just the kind of dudes we were created the bond. Mm-hmm. Didn't matter, you know, it wasn't about that. It was just about, you know, we all had the same goal and we got along great.
Yeah.
You know, so it was a good experience.
You dropped just one album through Cash Money?
Yeah, just one.
Okay, and why is that?
It was just a one album deal. It was me and Stunner just clowning, really, like, you know, what you want to do? Want to do one? All right, come on, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? So it was just a one album deal.
Well, and I guess Dr. Dre produced on that album?
Hate in Your Eyes, my first single.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Had you worked with Dre before then?
No, I was always a fan and I knew Dre.
Right, no, but actually did a song
that
together?
was the first song he ever produced for me.
How did that feel to jump on a Dre song?
Crazy.
Because you got to really, there are very few people in LA that didn't come from the Dre family tree.
Yeah.
You know, like YG brags about it. You know, but he's one of the few that could say that.
I love YG's records.
I do too.
Yeah.
And he's one of the few that is not really directly connected to Dre.
Yeah. Real talk.
As opposed to TDE and
real talk.
Damn near everybody else.
Yeah.
Ice Cube.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know, everybody. So here you are rapping on a Dre beat.
Yeah.
How'd that feel?
Like I was on a Dre beat. You know how his beats make you feel?
Yep.
Yeah.
So it was just one and done. You did that one album and
with Cash Money,
yeah.
Just one album.
Okay. And then you started doing movies as well.
Yeah, I
dabbled in it.
Yeah.
You and Fat Joe.
Yeah, Thick in the Water is a classic.
It is.
It's a hood classic.
It is.
Did really well for me.
You and T-Boz get married at one point.
Mm-hmm.
This was 2000.
Yeah.
And that was like, bravo. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was like, okay, you married T-Boz from TLC.
Right.
Who was, I mean, who would you compare her to these days? Like at the time, like almost like a Rihanna level.
Yeah, they was the biggest.
They was the biggest thing ever. How
did they was diamond.
It was diamond.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. TLC were going diamond.
Yeah.
How did that whole thing come together?
I pulled up.
You pulled up?
Yeah, I pulled up.
Yeah.
And shot my shot. You know what I'm saying?
She likes gangsters?
All net.
So you just pulled up.
I pulled up and you know, hey, you know, shit. I mean, you know, it wasn't really nothing out the ordinary, honestly. I pulled up and then I think I pulled up a couple of more days after that. You know what I'm saying? And the rest was history.
Okay. And you guys actually ended up getting married.
Yeah.
How long after from the time you met to the time you actually got married?
Probably a couple of years, maybe.
Oh, so it went on for a while.
Yeah.
Aha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably a couple of years. Yeah.
You guys had a daughter?
Yeah, Chase.
Okay. After you got married?
She was actually pregnant when we got married.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys get married, but it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
You got divorced, what, like?
About 3 years later or something.
3 years later. What do you think was the cause of divorce?
I have no idea.
Really?
Not really. I mean, Nah, I mean, it's something that we laugh about now, to be perfectly honest.
So you guys are friends now.
Oh yeah, yeah. Come on, man. Like, man, we got a beautiful daughter together. Like, it ain't. Everybody's life is good. Everybody doing good. Ain't no reason to be mad about that at this point.
Right, because at one point there was a bunch of drama. I guess you got a restraining order against you, and
Yeah, but none of that shit was real though.
it wasn't.
Nothing. Never ever had a incident where, you know, it was no violence or no nothing. Like, only thing we ever had is an argument.
Okay.
We ain't never had none of that kind of shit. But the lawyer she had at the time thought that probably it'd make the case better or something. Maybe he was chasing some attention or something. You know what I'm saying? But like, that was a bunch of bullshit. And like, anybody that know me know that that ain't even my character.
Yeah, I mean, you guys were the original like power couple. Like when you
Yeah.
see like Swizz and Alicia,
Yeah,
Jay-Z and Beyonce,
yeah,
Kanye and Kim.
yeah.
Like, you know, although Kim doesn't do music, but anyways, she got a lot of money. I mean, you really were the first rapper to really do that.
Yeah.
And this is why I'm saying when I first heard about that, I'm like,
Yeah, right on.
I'm like clapping, like, yeah,
Yeah.
like a rapper
Yeah.
is actually, you know, married to an R&B superstar, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I thought it was really, really dope.
Yeah,
But around 3 years later, you guys got divorced.
yeah.
But now everything's all worked out.
Oh man, come on, man. Way worked out. Like, we ain't. I mean, we think about that stuff now and we just start laughing. Like, it was so out of hand and just and crazy at the time. Like, I don't even. But to be honest, I don't think me or her was fueling it. I think it was the legal team that she had. You know what I'm saying? Was making the shit more out of control than what it really was.
Well, I mean, this is before social media,
Yeah.
but still, the actual amount of attention
Yeah, that it got.
that the two of you got,
Yeah. Negative attention.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But with the, you know, with her being so in the spotlight, and then you got to also factor in all the Left Eye antics that were happening. That was that really elevated that group to like a Rihanna level. You know, when Left Eye ended up burning down the house. And,
Yeah.
and everything else like that. It's tough to have a public relationship.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think that if no one knew about the relationship, it would still be around today? If it was completely a secret thing and the public didn't have to, you know?
I don't know. But one thing the public do is make you, like, it depends on how strong you are. Because the public can make you just like feel like you gotta like look a certain way, you know what I'm saying? Or appear to be a certain way. So I don't know. I mean, maybe we was both young, you know what I'm saying? We was both young, man, and our careers were at the height of our careers. And so, you know, I don't know if we would have still been married if didn't nobody know. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Because we were young.
Yeah. How old were you when you got married?
Like 27 or something,
That's
27,
pretty- yeah,
28.
that's pretty- she was
you
about
know
the
what I'm
same
saying?
age?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's way too young.
yeah. Yeah, we was young, bro.
When you have other children as well, right?
Yeah.
You have a son,
I got 3 sons and 2 daughters.
3 sons and 2 daughters.
Yeah.
Dope. And was your child with T-Boz your first or no?
Nah, that was my third.
Your third.
Yeah.
Her first.
Her first. It
Okay.
was my third.
Did she have any other kids or?
Did she ever have any other kids with
Kids?
me?
No, kids afterwards.
Oh, she got a little boy now.
She got a little boy.
Chance. Yeah.
Okay, so you have a cool little blended
Yeah.
family.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, and all the kids get together and
Oh yeah, for sure. Like when people see my kids together, bro, they think all of them got the same mama because that's how close they are. Like I always kept my kids like really close with each other, regardless of, you know, if they had different mamas or not, you know.
right. And your son actually raps.
District 21.
District 21.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Is he better than you?
yeah.
He is.
To be honest.
To be
Yeah,
honest.
Yeah, like when at his age, when I was his age, I wasn't as special as he is. Like he truly, not because he my son, he gonna be one of the best.
That's
For real. And like, I never wanted my kids in the music business.
Yeah,
So-
I don't
so-
think anybody does.
Yeah, I didn't want my kids in the music business, so I didn't push that or try to like put my son out. Okay, you know, everything he got so far, he earned it, and he do his own thing. That's really just him doing it. You know what I'm saying? but he gonna truly be one of the best.
How does it feel to have your kids be able to walk out of the house and not worry about getting shot, getting, you know, randomly picked up by the police, you know, having their friends die in junior high?
Yeah.
You know, the exact opposite of what you had to go through.
It feels good because I sacrificed a lot and worked hard to put us all in that position. You know what I'm saying? It feels amazing. I'm blessed.
I mean, here we are in 2019, and a lot of the people that were hot, you know, around the time that you were doing it and had, you know, a hit single and so forth, they're not doing very well right now. You know, not to get into your pockets, but I get the impression that you're fine. That you have made good business decisions along the way.
I'm extremely blessed.
Yeah.
Extremely blessed, man. I've took this game and became a pro on the other side of the ball, you know, as an executive and as a concert promoter. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a concert promoter, I have done everybody from Lil Wayne to Snoop Dogg to Cardi B to Wiz Khalifa to who you could just, the list goes on.
Really? And do you guys do just spot shows or tours, festivals, what?
Both.
Okay.
Both. I just do live performances.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I started it in 2012. I seen, you know, that was the direction that music was going in, to where, like, that's where the bag was at. It was all about the live performance. It wasn't about selling a record no more.
Right, because streaming fucked all that up.
Yeah, it was about a live performance, you know what I'm saying? So I started, and I started on myself. I think the first, like, 17 shows I did was Mack 10 shows.
Oh, you started booking yourself?
Yeah, I started booking myself so I could just learn the business. In small venues, though, so if it didn't go right, it wasn't no big hit I was gonna take, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I just learned the business on myself, and then I started doing other people, you know, and I started doing, like, theaters and stuff, and then I started doing, like, amphitheaters, and then there's arenas and stuff, you know, so it grew from just, like, regular rooms to arenas.
Yeah, it's a tough business. I mean, I tried my hand in, you know, concert promotion early on, and you know, you make money one show and then the next show gets canceled, so you lose money on that show, and then the third show you kind of break even, and you start to realize
volume is better.
It's about volume.
Volume is like an insurance policy. It's like taking one spoke out the wheel. You take one spoke out of a wheel, the wheel's still gonna turn.
Right.
But if all you got is one spoke and take it out, it ain't even a wheel, and it's gonna fall apart. You feel me?
Right.
So volume is really the key, bro.
I was one spoken it.
Yeah.
Which is why I ultimately gave up. I mean, apart from the concert promotion, what do you think, business-wise, were the best moves that you made along the way to make sure that you're financially sound right now? You know what I mean? Because, you know, like, one of the things that I've said in a lot of my interviews, which pisses a lot of people off, is that I've said that, you know, Jeffrey Owens, you know, who played on The Cosby Show, at 50-something years old, I feel like he failed as an adult to have to be working at Trader Joe's when he's almost retired. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I think it's important, especially when you have a family, that you don't let yourself get to that point, that you're making financial decisions and making good investments. So by the time you're in your 50s and 60s, you're not worried about, you know, your next paycheck.
Right.
So in terms of you, what have you done along the way to make sure that as you get older, you're financially sound?
Really, bro, I just made, you know, a lot of real estate investments and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
You're buying real estate.
Yeah, I've always been into real estate. I've always been into real estate, and since 2012, I've been into these live shows, and I've done really well with that, you know. But I was flipping houses before Flip or Flop or whatever it was on TV. What's this shit they got on TV?
Flip This House?
Yeah, I was flipping way before that.
Okay.
Before HGTV was on.
Did you get hit by the housing crash?
Not really. Some of the properties I had, I just held on to them. You know what I'm saying? When things went bad, I held. If you could weather the storm,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I held on to them. And
So mostly rental properties then.
oh yeah, I got a couple of properties now that I've had over 20 years.
So the mortgage is paid off or almost paid off.
Yeah, we good. Yeah,
Multi-units as well, or just single family?
both, yeah.
So you've actually built up a real estate
Oh yeah.
empire.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what it's about.
That's what it's about.
That's what it's about. It's like those are like savings accounts.
Yeah. Me personally, I've always been a stock guy.
Yeah,
I've never had luck in real estate, but I've had a lot of success in stocks.
yeah,
You know, and there's pluses and minuses to both of them.
yeah.
If you're investing yourself in stocks,
Nah, I don't know nothing about stocks really like
right?
that.
And you should know, and that's what I always say is you should go with what you know
Yeah,
about.
no doubt.
You know,
I don't care what everybody else is doing.
Exactly.
I'm only gonna play with what I think I got a chance to win at.
right?
Yeah.
So, if you don't make any more money in music at all, the real estate is going to keep you going forever.
Forever.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I ain't when the last time I made an album.
Right. You're working on one right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Because your last album was 2009.
Yeah.
So 10 years later,
Yeah.
you're working on your next album.
Yeah.
But why now?
I just felt it. I looked in the mirror one day, I was brushing my teeth. I looked in the mirror and I had these braids in my hair. I looked up, I had to look twice. I said, damn, that looked like Mack 10 and shit. You know what I'm saying? And so I said, all right, I look like 1-0. All right, I'm feeling like him too, I think. So, you know, I got back in the studio. It's all fun though right now for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm having the time of my life, man. It's fun. It ain't no pressure at all. It's fun. So, you know, the red print, it'll be out.
The
soon.
red print.
Yeah.
Like the blueprint, but red.
Yeah, the red print.
Right.
Yeah.
You said you and Suge were always cool.
Yeah, he was cool.
When you see what happened to Suge in that whole situation, how do you feel? You know, accepting a 28-year plea deal.
I mean, just for that, for anybody, is an unfortunate situation. Like I would feel like that about anybody that's in that position, especially that was you know, once in the position that he was in. You know, so
Yeah, I mean, he co-owned a $300 million company.
Mhm.
Not too many people get to touch that type of money.
right.
Did you know Terry?
Yeah.
Okay, friend of yours?
I knew him.
No.
Yeah.
It's a fucked up situation, man. Like I honestly thought that Suge was going to get off. You know, when you look at that situation, you could say it was self-defense, but yeah, 28-year plea deal.
It was tough.
It's crazy. Do you and Dr. Dre still have a relationship?
I mean, I don't talk to Dre like
Okay.
on a regular, nothing like that. If I see him somewhere, you know what's up, you know.
Well, I just think it's amazing, man, that someone like a Dre coming, you know, from the gangster rap genre, turns around and becomes rap's first billionaire. You know what I mean? With the Beats deal and still continues to make music, man. It's a, you know, you guys were all just sort of around, I think, for the golden era of West Coast hip hop, and just had a massive contribution.
Yeah.
You know, nothing but the Cavi is still one of my favorite West Coast songs.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
That was a great one.
Yeah.
That was a great one. And you just have a lot of classics under your belt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have a nice big fucking catalog.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you actually kept your publishing and
Yeah.
everything else like that.
All that.
So you continue, you know, whenever that gets picked up in a movie.
Yeah, I
or
still
a
get
TV.
checks in the mail.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Which song do you think you made the most money off of?
That's tough, man. Like I don't know, like the most money maybe. I don't know. I mean, you know those ones that get put in soundtracks and stuff.
Yeah.
Like you always get paid for that. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I don't know, man. I made some money on quite a few records.
Yeah, I interviewed Sir Mix-a-Lot a couple
Yeah.
years ago.
Mhm.
He told me he made $100 million off Baby Got Back.
So Baby Got Back has made over $100 million, you feel?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's definitely made over $100 million. I can tell you that. I mean, I just look at my lifestyle and where it's been since 1992, and it hasn't fallen off.
That's a lot of cake on one record.
Yeah, because he produced it
Yeah.
and wrote it,
Yeah.
and you know did it through a you know a label that allowed him to you know keep most of it. And yeah, he said he's still living the rapper lifestyle. You know, whatever 25 years later.
Yeah.
And that's the important part of you know keeping your publishing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You keep a check coming.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's that mailbox money.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and that's the thing, like when you own assets, music is one asset, real estate is another asset,
Yeah.
stocks is another asset,
Yeah.
and so forth. It's very important to have assets that will continue to make money,
Right.
because if you don't make your money work for you, you'll end up working forever.
Right.
So you're working on the red print. You've got your touring company, your live performance company. What else are you doing these days?
Just hanging out, coaching youth sports, Little League baseball, Power Warner football. Power Warner football, we won the championship this year.
Dope.
My little guys, the tiny mites, Rowdy Rams.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever play against Snoop's team?
My older son did,
Okay.
you know, years ago.
Yeah.
You know, but not my little baby. We haven't played Snoop's team, but we went 9-0.
9-0.
Yeah. I saw you allowed to play at the tiny mite level. Like 9 games is the most that they allow you to play.
Yeah. So man, you're just enjoying semi-retirement basically.
Yeah, I'm having fun, man. I'm blessed, bro. God has been great to me.
Yeah, man. Well, and also you've worked really fucking hard
Yeah.
along the way.
Still working hard.
Still working hard.
Yeah.
Still hustling. Still in the studio.
Oh yeah.
Still doing your thing, man.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Mack 10. Appreciate the conversation, man. I mean, I'm looking 11 million albums sold independently.
Yeah.
You know, multi-platinum projects,
Yeah.
both by yourself and with Westside Connection. Cult classic movies. Just the whole you know, you went and just got the bag all around.
Yeah.
You know, it seems like you came in, you know, and you know, the shelf life of a rapper is not very, very long.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you came in and reinvented yourself and went and figured out all the different aspects of the music game and taught yourself all that shit and managed to actually monetize all the different things you're going, man. And I think that people sometimes forget the businessman aspect of what Mack 10 is.
Yeah.
Because they focus so much on the rapper.
Yeah.
But that to me is the impressive part.
I appreciate that.
You know what I
That's
mean?
the important part.
That is the important part.
Yeah. I
Because
appreciate
ultimately
it.
we're all doing this for money.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing it for.
That's what I'm doing it for too.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
it's a
I'm playing
business.
for the bag, homie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've been getting it
Yeah.
for 25 years now?
Yeah.
Can get it for another 25 more.
Yeah. Easy.
Easy.
Yeah.
It's what it is.
Yeah.
Till next time, Mack 10.
100.
Peace.